A man was accused of drinking human blood, and he vanished overnight. Some people still claim to see him to this day. Tonight, we're diving into real vampire legends and the dark energy behind them.
Hey pipsqueaks, welcome back to Exploring Spirit. So tonight we're going to be going over where the legends began of vampires, why they're tied to lovers, famous real-life vampire cases, and how this connects to paranormal activity. By the end, you might realize vampires were never just about blood.
Have you ever read the Bram Stoker's Dracula or anything like that?
I don't think so.
I read it, well, I did listen to the audiobook because Lord knows I can't sit in one spot for that long. I was listening to the audiobook of it a couple years ago because I'd always liked Dracula. I've always loved vampires. I love vampires. But I also love the romanticized, like the modern age new vampires that they always show you in movies and stuff. I always thought they were great. And so I was super stoked the very first time I saw Interview with a Vampire. I was like, ooh, I love this. Never actually had read the books for Interview with a Vampire, which I'm currently listening to them right now. I listened to Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it is so good. It is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Dracula from that is allegedly based on Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler, I believe, once upon a time, I think it was like he would like impale his people, since, you know, that's the hint of the name.
Yeah.
And drink their blood because he thought it kept him young. I believe he would put people on, he would impale them onto stakes. I believe he drank their blood. I'm remembering somebody who's drinking like baby's blood, but I don't remember which one that was from.
I definitely heard he would use gravity to let them slowly suffer and pull them down, which is just horrific.
Yeah, to be shoved on a stake and just to let gravity slowly pull you down onto it, that's yeesh.
I've seen a lot of shows and stuff to go to his actual castle. They made it sound like Dracula's castle, but
it's actually
different.
Yeah.
And all the torture mechanisms that he made, different versions of impaling people, if you will. It
looks like, which the Dracula part, I'm guessing, comes from not just this probably, but it looks like he was the second legitimate, they had to make sure to put legitimate, because I guess there's a lot of illegitimate children back then, the second legitimate son of Vlad Dracul, who himself was an illegitimate son of Mycera the Elder, I guess a king of some sort. He had won the monarchical Dracul for his membership in the Order of the Dragon, which was a monarchical chivalric order only for selected higher aristocracy and monarchs, founded in 1408 by Sigismund of Luxembourg, who was the then king of Hungary.
That sounds fancy.
He may have had a rare condition known as hemolacria, which causes a person's tears to be partially composed of blood.
What? That's crazy.
You're like, that's crazy. I'm like, that's cool.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah. So Dracula is allegedly based kind of on Vlad the Impaler. But Dracula, the book itself, is not even where them being humanized started. It started with The Vampire by John Polidori or Lord Byron. It was the first time vampires were humanized. It was a British nobleman who faked his death, manipulates the main character Aubrey, and then marries, murders, and eats her sister.
Oh!
They actually humanized a vampire, because usually it's just a creature. They've just been mostly mythological folklore creatures.
When I was doing my research, it was saying the early folklore started in, obviously, Eastern Europe, Romania, France, but also New Orleans, and I did not know that until recently.
Nice. Which ones are in New Orleans?
There's a story about two brothers. We'll read all these later, but we're going to briefly go over them. There's the legend of Jacques, and then there's the legend of the Carter brothers.
Okay.
One guy, it's a whole crazy story. The police were involved in everything, and it's a legit story. But apparently he's been back recently. People have seen him walking around New Orleans.
Love that. Yeah, the stuff that I have, when I was researching it, the creatures, so there's a few. Two of which odd. So the manananggal and the penangglan. So the manananggal is from the Philippines. It's a female kind of creature, I believe. I think it has a female form, is what it looks like. Detaches the torso from the lower half of her body and sprouts wings that look kind of like a bat, and flies to the closest pregnant person to scoop out their organs with her tongue.
Oh, that's very specific.
Penangglan is similar. The head detaches, and she goes out nightly and feeds on pregnant women.
Why the pregnant women?
Pregnant women, watch out.
Watch out.
Penangglan was Malaysia, I believe. But then you have Sekhmet, which is a lion, like a lion-looking Egyptian goddess. So basically, she served Ra, and Ra would send her down to slaughter anyone that was against him or started to stray away against him. And she started to drink their blood, so she got kind of a taste for it, and she couldn't stop. She had killed everybody in that town or village or wherever that she was at, and so she was just drinking their blood, could not stop. And so Ra had to step in and stop her. So he basically took alcohol and dyed the Nile red, and so she would think it was blood. And so she just went to the Nile and started drinking it because she thought it was blood, and she drank it till she passed out.
Oh my gosh.
She drank it till she passed out, and then she finally, after doing that, had calmed down enough to be able to actually return to Ra and go back to normal.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. The other one, which is jiangshi, which is in China, and it's either a corpse that's been resurrected by a necromancer, or it's a soul trapped in a body, or a soul trapped in a corpse, and it feeds on the life forces. So those are some of the creature ones.
So that kind of, when I was researching them, the early folklore, it was saying vampires often chase their old lovers. So either one of them died and then they chased them to be with them forever. Sometimes it was people who died suddenly or tragically.
There's one where they believed in, it was Slavic Chinese. They believed that any dead person or corpse, if an animal like a cat or a dog jumped over it, it became a vampire.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that was the lesson, is respect burial rites. Just respect the grave, I guess.
Oh.
Don't just toss your corpse on the street. Bring out your dead. Coming back for people like your loved ones thing is interesting, because the one that was in Serbia, it was a Serbian peasant that died, and then 9 days after he died, 9 people, that's what it was, 9 people died of blood loss. And they kept saying that they were seeing him around town, and he eventually came back and killed his own son, is what they claimed, because the son was bled dry on the floor of their old house.
Oh my gosh.
And he said there was another one where it's he came in and asked the wife for his shoes. He demanded his shoes, and she said that it was him. But again, this is in the 1700s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, grain of salt.
Okay, yeah, that's the Carter brothers. Sounds like that.
Okay.
New Orleans City believes this is real, and they show it on all of their walking tours and stuff.
It's funny.
2 brothers, John and Wayne Carter, who both worked at the docks during the Great Depression. There was a bleeding woman with her wrist slit. She entered the police station and was saying that the brothers were draining and drinking her blood. So the police went to their apartment, and they found a bunch of people tied up, alive and not. When the brothers returned, it took 8 officers to calm them down, get a hold of them.
Goodness.
And everyone's saying it's because they had Superman strength. And then the brothers confessed, allegedly, they confessed to being vampires and begged to be executed. And then after their execution, they were buried in their family's tomb. Several years later, for some reason, they opened up the vault and their bodies were gone.
Interesting. What's funny is the strength, the super strength thing. Originally, it doesn't seem like it was ever really part of vampirism before they were humanized, which is crazy that they used, they have that, and that's like a common thing. So in Dracula, that was the start of the like abilities that they have as far as like hypnosis, no reflection, strength, agility, and immunity to most weapons all came from Dracula. And like his weaknesses of like needing to have the soil from his homeland of Transylvania in order to rest and recover, and could only enter houses if invited. So that all started with that. So I'm curious if, and it makes me wonder, like, did he come up with all of these abilities because of like he knew a vampire, you know? Them being out of their tomb is part of why the wooden stake is also a weakness, is because so they had the belief that vampires were dead and buried people that came back to life, like fancy zombies. So you would take a wood stake and you would pin them to their coffin so they couldn't come out, and you'd have to use aspen wood because that's the cross that Jesus was like, that's the wood that he was nailed to. It was an aspen.
Oh.
And so they'd have to use that.
I never knew that.
Yeah, guess they should have pinned them to their stake. They also would put pebbles and dirt and stuff in their mouth so that they couldn't feed if they did get out.
Oh.
Yeah. The garlic thing is interesting, though, because that one was... So you know how if you have, like, a pile of, like, trash or something, you can spray Febreze on it all day long. Or if you have, like, something gross that's, like, got bacteria and stuff, like mold growing, you can spray Febreze. It's just going to cover up the smell for, like, a little bit, but it's not going to kill any of the bacteria. So garlic, back in the day, disease, like the spread of disease and plague and all that, everything had a stench to it. So they would use pungent odors like garlic to drive away the smell of the diseases, like the ones that they believe caused vampirism.
Interesting.
They didn't know any better. They were like, oh, if smell covers it, it's gone.
And then that turned into that keeps them away.
Yeah, turned into garlic keeps vampires away.
I mean, every show, every movie does the...
Yeah, in the Bram Stoker's Dracula, whenever one of the girls is, like, ill because she's being basically fed on by a vampire, Abraham Van Helsing comes over and makes her wear this, like, necklace of garlic. And she can't take it off because it helps keep that vampire away that's been trying to feed on her. It comes in at her window and just, like, yeah.
That's crazy. See, they take a little bit of truth. Mm-hmm. They add a little bit of spice to it, and then now...
Garlic.
Yeah.
Is there a picture of these brothers? I want to see what these brothers look like.
Oh, I didn't even know Ghost Adventures went there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did not. Like, I always knew voodoo and ghosts and stuff like that. I did not know vampires in New Orleans.
Interview with the Vampire. Lestat and Louis, their story starts in New Orleans. Louis he had a farm, or like my brain's broken at the moment, but he wants to, like, I think he just needs money or something. He's like taking care of his dying dad or some stuff. And their origin stories and of how Louis becomes a vampire is in New Orleans.
Like, obviously ghosts are big, voodoo's big. I never knew about vampires.
That one I knew was in Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire book. So it was a lot of because the first one is done as basically a manuscript, like you're hearing Louis talk about his life story to this interviewer. So it reads in the way of like a narration where he's just talking about his life telling the story of his life to this guy.
It's either that or the Jacques story. They have, I'm pretty sure it's the brothers though. Like, someone owns it still.
Oh, wow.
Like, they're where they did all of this.
Ooh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and I don't, like, you can go to the outside, but literally I think Ghost Adventures may have gone inside, but someone literally lives there.
That's so cool. Yeah, nothing crazy going on here. Just, house, some weird, crazy stuff happened.
We keep finding bottles of blood or something.
I went into the basement and found this, like, hidden room. There's just a ton of vials of blood and coffins and stuff. I don't know, man. I've only ever been to New Orleans, like, once. But I never got to go on any ghost tours or do any of that stuff. That would be cool to do one day.
Yeah, it would, and we should visit. They literally have, I'm pretty sure it's a restaurant that is vampire theme, and that's where they start, like, there's a vampire tour.
That's so cool. I love when things have themes that are vampire related, because I love vampires.
And it looks so cool. I forget what it's called. I'll have to show a picture on the screen right now, but it looks so cool.
I want to go to the restaurant that they have in What's it? It's in Universal. It's the Universal Monsters one. They have a vampire restaurant. Is this... See, and it has... I'm looking at the thing where it's like a Yesterday America, and it talks about them, but it doesn't have any photos of them, like, at all. And
every picture that I saw, they did not look the same, so now I don't know.
yeah.
I'll have to do some research.
People are, like, saying they see them. It's like, are you sure? Maybe you just don't know what they look like because there's no photos of them. When did this happen? What year did this happen?
Well, they see the Jacques guy.
They see the Jacques guy, not the brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jacques incident happened in the early 1900s.
Okay, and this one was in 1932, so they had pictures and stuff then.
Yeah, I think I saw it was like old farm, like family old farm pictures, how they used to do that.
Plantation.
That's what
Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if that's what you were talking about. Because that's big in New Orleans.
It took me a second. Got a plantation. And I wish I had come to that conclusion by reading through this having to do with New Orleans, but no, as I was reading, they found, 2 other bodies tucked away in yet another room. My brain went, oh, plantation. That reminded me. That did it.
Speaking of plantation, we should go to the Myrtles plantation one time.
Oh my gosh, we should. That would be so much fun. The sunlight thing.
Oh yeah.
So that one, I've never read the Twilight books. And I have seen a majority of the Twilight movies back when they first came out. Glittering skin was weird. In my brain, vampires die when they get to sunlight. After listening to Dracula, he went out to, like, the sun often. Like, he went out during the day. He just was, not as strong during the day. Nosferatu, this guy, that movie is where the sunlight thing came from, which is wild, because Interview with a Vampire uses that heavy. I think that was one of the scenes that stuck with me the most, too, in that movie, was when, spoiler alert, they're in the pit, and it's the little girl and the woman, and they just, like, get turned into, like, ash and, like, gone. So, yeah, apparently that wasn't always a thing.
So they just were like, oh, we gotta switch it up a little bit. Let's say they can't go in the sun.
Yeah. Well, it's like before they got humanized, they used to be just, like, basically looked like blood-covered, zombie-looking creatures, like, people. They weren't pretty. They weren't, like, dapper in suits, like come hither all handsome and stuff. So the glittering, which side is the glittering in the sunlight, is probably the more accurate, because he can go in the sunlight. But they don't glitter. That's weird.
See, it's just like, oh, we have to switch it up a little bit. Let's say they glitter in the sunlight, actually.
I guess they were using, they used the whole idea that they can go in the sun, because in Bram Stoker's Dracula they could. So I guess they're kind of meshing the two. So if you're more approving of, like, them being in sunlight, I'm like, oh, we'll just make it fancy. We'll make them glitter. Girls like glitter, right?
I'm just thinking, like, if they take on bat-like characteristics, they're nocturnal, but they don't die in the sunlight.
It's funny that you say that, too, because the bat transformation thing, like how vampires can transform, that also is Bram Stoker's origin. He got it from a Romanian creature called a strigoi, which transforms into an owl, but he opted for the vampires to transform into bats. Because in the late 1800s, or sometime in the 1800s, not the late, but like sometime in the 1800s, there were headlines, or there were, like, articles that were making headlines of vampire bat discoveries. Like, I guess they were just finding actual, like, vampire bats, like the actual bat itself, like that crazy vampire bat. And so that was making headlines, and so he had them turn into bats to transform. So a vampiric creature from Romania called the strigoi. Well, not the origin of it, because I mean the things that remove their own head and their torso. I guess that's transforming.
That's the weirdest thing ever. Only pregnant women.
Only pregnant women. Most stories are created to, like, spook people into behaving. What was it, like in Japan they have, like, the yokai, where they, like, if you don't do your homework, this specific little demon guy is gonna come and, like, tie your shoes together, like, torture you or whatever. Kids are, like, afraid of these, like, little demon creatures. and so they do everything that they're supposed to do. A lot of stories are done to teach people lessons of like, if you don't do this, you need to do this, or this is going to happen.
Right.
It's like, what did pregnant women do to deserve this? What were they doing?
Like, at that point, would it go back to, like, the baby's blood thing? But then at that point,
And see,
why would it still go for the pregnant women then?
that's why whenever I first read it, I was like, yeah, they go for pregnant. I was like, to eat their baby? But no, it was to scoop out their organs. I don't know why. I'll have to dive deeper into that. But it was like, as I was reading through it, I was like, huh?
If you guys know too, let us know down below.
Yeah, they probably know more.
So there's also apparently a psychological concept called emotional vampirism. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, it's like the energy vampires and emotional vampires, like Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows.
They supposedly drain your energy, thrive on chaos or distress, create trauma bonds, and leave people exhausted.
My our ex-roommate at our other house must have been one. I remember being in high school. My friend group, the people I hung out with, they're all Wiccans and liked Wiccans and vampires and witchcraft and stuff like that. There were people that they would claim to be energy vampires. They could feed on your energy, or they could give you energy, and they were deep in it. Sometimes they would grab your wrists, like not like non-consensual, but like if you're just all hanging out, be like, here, you need energy, I'll give you some of mine, I drained it from someone else earlier today in like third period.
Oh my gosh.
They would do stuff like that. It was just funny, because I remember in high school, that was very much a thing of the people that I hung out with, where they wanted to be some form of vampire so badly. And I mean, I used to hope that vampires are real. Of course, it's the romanticized, like, humanized vampires that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be real, like the dapper gentlemen and the women that are like so fancy.
All the Twilight and what's the other one? Vampire Diaries.
Interview with a Vampire. I've never watched Vampire Diaries or True Blood.
No, I definitely didn't watch all of it, but I watched a lot of Vampire Diaries.
The vampire movies I watched were like Blade and Interview with a Vampire and Underworld. The one with the blood rave. Which one was that? Was Blade. The opening scene is like they're going into this rave and it's a bunch of vampires and blood starts raining down from like the sprinklers.
Oh my gosh.
Intense. It's like, yeah. That's what all the kids back when I was in high school, all those kind of kids wanted to go, yeah, we go to a blood rave.
Is that a movie or a show?
Blade, it's a movie.
See, I like movies because they have a beginning and end in mind. Like Vampire Diaries, they go on too long and then they lose my interest because you didn't have an ending in mind. You're just like, oh, we can make the show go on by doing this. No, you can't.
Because I've never watched it, what is Vampire Diaries about?
Two brother vampires that there's a girl she just fights over, but like she doesn't decide which one she likes.
Oh my gosh.
That's what the whole thing is about. That's why I got bored after a while. I was like, come on.
Blade is a 1998 stylish, here's how they put it, stylish action horror superhero film directed by Stephen Norrington. I guess a superhero. Featuring Wesley Snipes as the titular half-human, half-vampire daywalker who protects humanity. His mom was a vampire, and so he can walk around during the day, but he has to, like, take this medicine and inject this medicine to be able to, like, not turn full vampire or something like that to keep him more human. And they can totally go, like, he can go in the daytime, but, like, the other ones can't. They start to, like, burn up, turn into fire and all that. But there's a second one as well. I think it's the second one where they like figure out how to be able to go into the sun.
See, but still, like, they have a goal in mind with that. It sounds like they have a task they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's like Vampire Diaries goes on for like 10 seasons, and it's just her flip-flopping with who she likes.
That's crazy. And see, I have not watched the new Interview with Vampire show. I've heard it is terrible. So my fiance's mom was like, it's terrible. If you haven't read the books, read the books instead. If you liked the movie, read the books. Don't even bother with the show. Like, it's bad. I haven't actually watched it because I trust her opinion on it.
I heard like the same thing with Twilight. Everyone watches the movies, but very rarely do people read the book. My sister read the books and she said they're better.
My fiance said the books are great.
Like, I've never...
Yeah, I saw the movies and I was like, ew, what is this? No thank you. It's that creepy puppet baby range. Pop a picture of it up right there because it's enough to make you go, no, thank you, I'm done. I'm good.
I'm good.
I know, I liked the Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned and all of that. I thought those were fantastic. Queen of the Damned was good, but Interview with the Vampire, the first one's always better. Very rarely is a sequel better.
Yeah.
We went on such a tangent from the energy vampires.
The legend of Jacques St. Germain is one of the most famous New Orleans vampire stories. In the early 1900s, a woman reportedly jumped from the second-story balcony of St. Germain's Royal Street home, screaming that he had attacked her and tried to bite her neck. When the police arrived the next day, St. Germain, having convinced them to wait until morning, had vanished. Of course he did.
Yeah, they always do.
The house was found largely empty of belongings, but police allegedly discovered blood stains on the floor and walls and bottles that appeared to contain wine but were actually human blood.
Nice.
St. Germain was never found and became an enduring part of the city's vampire lore, but people have recently claimed to see him. The same man, no aging, same appearance, and same energy.
I gotta look at this guy.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a picture of him.
Okay, when you look up the picture of this guy, they're seeing that? They're seeing that, in a way. There's no way that the guy's got that little powder wig.
Oh, I see, like, the comparisons, like...
Oh yeah, I'm finding that now. But the first picture that popped up was like...
George Washington?
That's what you're describing? A man with a curly white wig?
Oh, look, if you scroll down a little bit, that's his house.
I saw it, yeah. Let's go there. That place looks cool.
I can't remember if his place is the one someone owns, or if the Carter brothers, they could be both owned by someone.
That looks like it's like in the middle of a downtown area too.
Yeah, that one, I'm pretty sure you walk straight out front of their house for the tour. While they tell you that story and they're just like, hey.
Dang.
And I can't remember if it was the brothers or if it was, yeah, I think it must have been the brothers, because he convinced the cops to wait till the next day. But the brothers yeah, and I'm pretty sure they got caught multiple times later on after their tomb was, or their thing was empty. The same thing happened.
Huh.
Like, literally same story. The cops chased them down, couldn't catch them. Same thing happened. They found blood in bottles, people everywhere.
Interesting. Just bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
So, people claim to see this man, eh? Oh, there's like a whole YouTube thing on him from like 1700s to 1970. They think this guy is him, and I'm sorry, the side-by-side, they don't look anything alike. But granted, the pictures that are up there are not actual photos.
Yeah.
So, but if I had to guess, this guy that they're showing, that they're claiming to be him, does not look like him. So I'm wondering, who are these people that are claiming to see him?
Yeah, I know, I have no clue.
Are they like going to a police station and saying, hey, you know this guy from the, what years? From the 1700s? I just saw him. You're not gonna be like, checked into a facility if you come in claiming that? What?
So you guys let us know if you know any more information about what we talked about tonight.
You've seen him.
Have you seen him?
Like, Bigfoot footage of him walking the streets of New Orleans.
That'd be great. We actually know who he is.
Yeah. It's my brother.
So, let us know what you thought about this episode. Let us know if we missed anything down below. Next time we're talking about leprechauns.
Yeah, because the thing that I found that was a weird comparison, which made me go, wait a second, I recognize this from something else that has nothing to do with vampires. Jiangshi, you can stop them by throwing rice at them, like if you throw the small objects, basically rice, they have to stop and count every single grain of rice. And I was like, no, wait, I've heard this before. This is not vampire. What is this from? And then I had to look it up. It is not just why the Count from Sesame Street is obsessed with counting, but it is also Supernatural, the TV show. They use it for leprechauns and fairies.
Oh my gosh!
Leprechauns have to stop. They have to compulsively have to count like every grain of sugar or rice or salt or something that they throw at them. They used it in the episode. I was like, I knew it was something else. I knew it had to do with leprechauns. So, yeah.
Get excited. excited for the leprechaun episode.
We're going to talk about those delightful little gold-loving men.
And we'll see you next week for more fun, spooky content. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!